Good afternoon again. I am PhD of University of Salamanca, and this is the first version of the first paper of my thesis, and I'm writing it with my director thesis, Maria Belén Lozano Garcia from University of Salamanca, and with Felix Iturriaga from University of Valladolid. First of all, I think it's important to mention some features of Brazilian institutional framework according to previous literature. According to previous literature, Brazil has problems of weak shareholders protection. Consequently, there are financial constraints. Firms face financial constraints to finance their development opportunities. There are problems of high ownership concentration with a predominance of pyramidal structures, and problems of asymmetric information as well. But in the beginning of this century, the BMF Bovespa, the Brazilian main stock exchange, launched the Novo Mercado. It used its self-regulation power to launch the Novo Mercado. And the Novo Mercado is a segment of shares with most stringent requirements of corporate governance. The companies that voluntarily subscribe to these segments have to proceed according to its corporate governance requirements that are different from the requirements of the Brazilian law. The main differences of the Novo Mercado are these. This is the line of Novo Mercado, and this is the line of shares that's regulated by the Brazilian law, the law that regulates listed shares in Brazil. And the main difference is about the proportion of voting rights, because the Novo Mercado requires from firms to launch only ordinary shares. It requires as well firms to keep a minimum free float of 25%. There are regulations, rules on the functioning of the board of directors. The board of directors must be larger and more independent as well. There are requirements about the disclosure standards. The companies must adopt international disclosure standards different of the Brazilian field, the law of Brazil that does not require this kind of disclosure standards. And it was created an arbitration chamber. The arbitration chamber is a chamber that was created in order to give more celerity in the judge of minority shareholders, with more specialized judges as well. And the objectives of the paper are to answer these two questions. Do the requirements of the NM really, NM is the Novo Mercado, really mitigate the negative impact of weak investor protection at the country level in Brazil? And the second question is, do Brazilian listed firms use the NM as a substitutive device to the use of dividends and debt as a trust generating mechanism? And to answer these two questions, we wrote to 4 hypotheses. And the first one is about the relationship between dividends and the Novo Mercado, the impact of NM on dividends. And we based our first hypothesis in a paper of Laporta of the year 2000. And he writes 2 alternative hypotheses. The outcome hypothesis, let's say that the dividends are an outcome of the good protection of minority shareholders. And it's possible that in Brazil, NM firms pay more dividends because there is less possibility, it reduces the possibility of expropriation of minority shareholders. And alternatively, it's possible that NM companies distribute less dividends than non-NM companies because the NM can be used as an alternative trust enhancing mechanism. The second hypothesis is about the relationship between debt and the corporate governance. The first hypothesis based on the Page's theory and the free cash flow theory that says that debt can be used as a disciplinary mechanism to discipline the behavior of managers. And so it's possible that NM firms are more leveraged than non-NM firms because it's possible that the firms list in NM to signal that they won't expropriate minority shareholders. And so it's possible that they are committed with other mechanisms to avoid audience problems. Alternatively, it's possible that NM firms be less leveraged than non-NM firms because of some reasons. For example, because the NM can reduce the financial constraints, and so these companies can be less leveraged than non-NM firms, as well as, for example, NM firms can reduce the related party transactions, the related party loans, and so it's possible that NM firms are less leveraged than non-NM firms. The third hypothesis is about the relationship between dividends and debt in presence of the novo mercado. That is, NM companies, dividends and debt have the same function of disciplining managers and avoiding the expropriation of minority shareholders. It's possible that because of the transparency, the reduction of possibility of minority shareholders' wealth, it's possible that in presence of that, NM companies pay less dividends because the shareholders require less dividends than non-NM firms. And finally, we researched the relation between NM and dividends in presence of investment opportunities, because dividends increase the transaction costs by leading firms to raise new capital to finance new projects. And so it's possible that because of the same reasons of that, in presence of a better corporate governance, the shareholders will trust that they won't be expropriated, and so in presence of investment opportunities, they will trust that they won't be expropriated and that the company won't invest in negative present value projects, and so they require less dividends in presence of investment opportunities. Our data, we collect our data from Moroscope databases and from the web page of BMF Bovespa. Our final sample is of 205 listed companies with almost the metad of Brazilian listed companies. Our period is from the first year of the functioning of the novo mercado till the year of 2011. It's a relatively stable macroeconomic period in Brazil. The estimation method, we use system GMM. We add industry-specific effects and time-specific effects. We use the instruments according to the previous literature of Blonder and Bond. The hypothesis, the models, this is our basic model. We use as dependent variable dividends, and as explanatory variables, large dividends, debt, return on assets, investment opportunities, cash holding size, investment, and a dummy variable for NM. Our second model is debt, and we use that as explanatory variables, large debt, dividends, investment opportunities, tangibility, size, investment, return on assets, and the same variable for dividends. Our third and fourth model are like the first model, but we interact the variable debt with the variable novo mercado. And in the fourth case, we interact investment opportunities with the variable novo mercado. Our results finally confirm that NM reduces the payment of dividends. It also reduces the payment, the leverage in the companies. NM firms are less leveraged than non-NM firms. It reduces the payment of dividends in presence of debt, and it reduces the payment of dividends in presence of investment opportunities. We did some robustness checks with different variables. In this case, we used a variable that includes not only NM firms, but also firms of other segments, because there are two intermediary segments of shares in Brazil, and this variable includes all the three lists of variables. And the results confirmed our previous findings. The discussions. We believe that the NM reduced the payment of dividends because the firms use the NM as an alternative trust generating mechanism. That is, in the case of Brazil, when dividends are used as a trust enhancing mechanism, but it's possible to replace the companies have used the novo mercado as a substitute for dividends. The same for that, did that, which is according to agents and free cash flow theory, a disciplinary mechanism. So we see that in presence of NM, the companies are using less debt, and it can be because of this, because the companies, the shareholders in presence of dividends, they don't require that companies keep higher debt to discipline the behavior of the managers. Then discourage the related party transactions via debt, and it's possible as well that NM firms are less financial constrained, that the presence in the novo mercado reduces the financial constraint of the firms, and so they recur less to dividends. About the third hypothesis, we believe that NM is effective as an alternative monitoring mechanism to these two variables, to these two mechanisms, dividends and debt. And finally, in presence of investment opportunities, as I said, we believe that NM reduces information asymmetry that influence shareholders to reject possible profitable projects, and so in presence of investment opportunities, the investors require less dividends to give more flexibility for the companies. And finally, our conclusions and contributions. We add to the literature on functional convergence in the security markets. That is, it can be the functional convergence or the private contracts in the markets can be effective as complementary mechanisms to the countervailing efficiency of protection of minor shareholders, and it also it adds to the literature in the influence of the legal origin, in the influence of the protection of minor shareholders, because we see in the Brazilian case of the novo mercado that the legal origin is very determinant, but that the protection of minor shareholders can be improved over the time in this case, by the functional convergence use. And our findings can be used for practitioners in the case of Brazil, because there are just a few studies in the behavior of the companies in presence of the novo mercado, for policymakers because they can see the influence of of listening in the novo mercado in the behavior in their financial policies.
Okay, thank you very much.